Welcome to the first of a series of videos about properly formatting a works cited page. This video, as you've seen with other videos during the semester, will run 5 minutes. To fully present this concept of properly formatting a works cited page will very likely take 3 videos. Let's start with our first video. In front of you, you do see a properly formatted works cited page. What do I initially mean by properly formatted? In this case, we're not going to dwell on the internal comma, semicolon formatting of the units of information within the works cited entry, such as what might appear here, or any place along here. What we want to work with are margins. Notice 1-inch margin from the left, 1-inch margin from the right. 1 inch to the title, regular double space, regular double space, regular double space, regular double space. So far, everything is properly formatted. Do notice, however, these extra lines that an entry may have, they indent an extra 1/2 inch. This is called the hanging indent. For entries on a works cited page that continue on for more than one line, any of the continuation lines automatically indent the extra 1/2 inch. Now, I will tell you that an impulse for some students is to manually put tabs in to create this hanging indent. I would like to tell you that's working really hard, but there's a much smarter, easier way to do it by allowing your word processing program to put those indents for you. Before we get to the creation of the works cited page, let me reaffirm the metaphor which we've used throughout the semester. Formatting a document is like driving a car. One doesn't just hop into a car and drive. One has to insert the key into the ignition, start the engine, buckle the seatbelt, adjust the heater or the air conditioner, change the radio station, fix the mirrors. All of those things must be pre-prepared before the driving begins. Similarly, in our writing, before we begin writing our essay, let's take care of the mirrors, the seatbelts, and the radio. Let's get our formatting correct. Proper margins, proper font, proper spacing. To do that, looking at a completed works cited page, while illustrative doesn't help us see how to do this, let's move to a document that needs a works cited page created for it. Here is an essay which you have seen before. All of its formatting is correct. 1-inch margins, Times New Roman 12-point font, double spacing, no extra spacing between the paragraphs. All of this is review. All of this we're fairly comfortable with. Let's, however, now come to the end of the essay because we need to add a works cited page. Now, among the first things that I'd like to completely affirm to you, your works cited page is part of your essay. It is not a separate document. Do not create it in a separate file. Create it here with your essay. One of the primary reasons to always follow this practice is relevant to Safe Assign. When you attempt to upload your essay to Safe Assign, you will not be able to submit 2 documents. If your works cited page is a separate document, you will not be able to submit it. You will lose points, therefore. Create your works cited page in your essay. It's all one document. Now, let's begin. You see the flashing cursor. I have placed my cursor at the end of my essay. What I need to do next is to insert a page break. Automatically, I want Word to always know that my works cited page begins on a new page. Therefore, I start with Insert up here on the toolbar. Click on Insert. And over here at the left, Page Break. When I click, you'll notice the cursor has now moved down to its own new page. Now, no matter what content I might choose to add into this essay, it may go for 3, 4, 10 more pages. This page, which will become our works cited page, will always start as a new page. This concludes video number 1. Please start video number 2, and we will continue. Welcome to part 2 of how to format a works cited page. When we ended our last video, we were left with our cursor here on the first line of this new page we had created. We've used the insert a page break, so we now have a new page that is automatically going to start. We need to identify this as our works cited page. Works cited. What do we do next? The font is wrong. We are still fixing formatting. This is back to our automotive metaphor of driving. We need to make sure everything on this page conforms to what we normally expect. Let's come back to Home. Up here, we need to choose the font. This is currently Calibri body. We need to use our standard Times New Roman font and make it 12 point. Now, theoretically, everything we put onto this works cited page will be Times New Roman. Let's confirm visually as we continue that that remains the case. Notice that my cursor is now at the end of this one line that I have on my final page. Let me hit enter and move down to the next new line. Visually, this still looks like we have no extra space between entries. We will again continue to monitor to make sure that non-standard formatting does not introduce itself onto this works cited page. But what we need to do now is get some works cited entries. For purposes of this video, I've done what they do on those TV cooking shows. I've already pre-prepped some of my work here from the database. The EBSCO host database is a works cited entry. I will highlight it. I will Control-C, copy, come back to my document, and here, let me Control-V, paste. As the entry pastes in, I'm quite surprised that that looks very ugly. That's not the right font. That's not the right margins. We have to fix this. This is what you will do with your works cited entry is double check. Yes, certainly for the accuracy internally of this entry, and with only a few minor exceptions, trust EBSCO, it will get it right 98% of the time. But we can see flat out, this is not the font. Let's fix it. Let's highlight our whole entry. And let's first do what we can to fix the font. You see, let me highlight it again. You see this ghost menu that's attempting to pop up. Word is very nice. It will suggest to you that we can change it from right here. We also know we can go above and change. But by clicking on this pop-up, I can choose Times New Roman. I can also choose, and by right-clicking, I pulled that menu back up, 12-point font. So I've now just shown you 3 different ways that you can change the font. All of them work, just multiple ways to do the same thing. Well, we have the right font now, but we don't have the right margins. We don't have the right hanging indent. Let's work through the next step. The next step would be to align our entry here with the 1-inch margin. Place your cursor at the beginning of the entry and push backspace. Backspace will pull the whole entry over to the 1-inch margin placement. We're very close to being finished with this entry. The next thing to do is add the hanging indent. Let's highlight the whole entry, and I will show you that there are multiple ways to get to this same result. I will show you the first. Right-click. Notice my cursor was in the highlighted area, and by right-clicking I pull up this menu. We are interested in paragraph. Now, this will be shown several more times in video number 3, but I want to emphasize right now, this paragraph menu is very useful. We will do several things with it. Right now, we're interested in indentation, and we're going to do the special indentation. Special indentation means hanging indent. Watch what happens, and then go to video number 3, and we will continue. Click OK. We have a hanging indent. Welcome to the third and final video for how to format a works cited page. When last we left off with our project at the end of video number 2, this is what we saw. We had an entry that we'd taken from the database. We had corrected the font. We'd adjusted the 1-inch margin. We'd added the hanging indent. We're ready to add another entry. Let me go to my list. I've pre-researched this. Here is a works cited entry for another article which has informed my essay. I'm going to highlight the whole thing. I will Control C for copy. I will come back to my document. Let me place the cursor down on the next line and Control V for paste. When the new entry comes in, we see that it has the same ugly font and formatting that the previous one had. Let's fix it. Our steps are first to highlight the whole thing. If we right-click in the highlighted area, we can do several things. We could start with the font. Let's change the font to Times New Roman. Let's right-click again in the highlighted area, and let's change the size to 12 point. And as long as we've still got it highlighted, actually, let me step back. Let's put our cursor at the very first word, before the very first word, and do a backspace. Let's get it to align with this 1-inch margin, which we've already established. Now, let's highlight the whole thing, and we will add our hanging indent. The procedure, as you remember, let's right-click to get there, and we choose Paragraph. On the Paragraph menu, we are interested in indentation. And over here for the special indentation, hanging, 1/2 inch. Let's click OK. And notice now, the hanging indent is automatic. We've got 2 entries in here on our works cited page. We could continue to add entry after entry. We're fairly close to solid formatting. There are a few more things that we should attend to. Let me begin with this. Works cited, as the title, needs to be centered. Let's come up here, and again we're in the Home menu. This one will center. No tabbing involved. Let's just center. I want to now fix my spacing. Notice this is all single spacing with some extra space between here. Let's try to fix the whole page all at once. Cursor is right in front of the first letter, and I'm going to pull it down to even where there is not even text here onto a blank line. I've highlighted, in effect, this whole page. Multiple ways to do this. Obviously, we can come up here and do it using this. For those who may be using an earlier version of Word, this still works as well with the right click in the highlighted area. The same menu pops up that we've been working with. We'll go again to the Paragraph menu, the same menu we've been working with today. Below indentation, where we've been working with, is also something related to spacing. Let's do 2 things. Spacing, we want to change to double space. Let's make this all double space. And before we finish, there's one more thing, and you know this, we've talked about this before. Let's check this box. Don't add space between paragraphs. That's this extra little space between. Checking this box will eliminate that. Double space, no extra space. I think we're really, really good. Click OK. We have now 2 entries, no extra space between. Now there is a little extra space here, and I'll show you very quickly how to remove that. I'm going to put my cursor right here in front of Wexler. Let's do a backspace, backspace, and now enter. Well, I shouldn't have done that here at the end of this video, but I can still fix it. This entry has centered itself. Let's just realign it back to what it was. And let's fix our hanging indent one more time. Not a problem. We've done this like 4 or 5 times. It's easy, easy now. Hanging indent. We can fix this. Now, in class, we'll talk more about this, but you've got your formatting correct now.